It's time to do backpacking hacks.
Oh,
everyone's got a backpacking. We have never done a hacks video.
And there will be more to come because there's so many hacks out there.
Yes.
And maybe in the future we'll do hacks by like category, like food hacks.
Yeah, we're gonna do a separate food hacks because that's its own beast. But first, hit that subscribe button.
Yeah, hit that subscribe
button.
Hit
that bell.
And also go check out the Backcountry BSing channel.
Yes.
If you want to go listen to all of our amazing podcasts where we talk about lots of fun and interesting topics with very cool people.
We do. That's an accurate synopsis of our podcast.
That just flowed right out.
Yeah. Also, if you want some cool merch and the way to support the channel, other than just giving us money, which people have offered to do. Just buy some merch. That simple. So it's been a long time coming for this video.
Yeah.
And it's kind of fun when Andy and I plan these videos. We don't really talk to each other, so I have no idea what he's going to say, and he has no idea what I'm going to say.
And this was requested.
Yeah, this was requested, and a lot of people have been doing hacks videos.
Yeah.
And we've never done one, and we got some hacks. So I'm going to start. Some of these you might have some. So I want to talk about tape. So. This is not the hack. Okay, everyone does this. Put tape on your trekking poles. That's not the hack. Here's a couple hacks with tape. First, when it comes to tape, I don't think you can beat as an all-purpose Gorilla Tape. I think that's better than duct tape. That's not the hack, but just saying. I think Gorilla Tape is better than duct tape.
It is better than duct tape, but as an all-around tape, you wouldn't put Luco tape up there?
I think... Okay, so I carry 3 types of tape, all right? Gorilla Tape is like structural tape, so if something breaks, I wouldn't put Gorilla Tape or duct tape on my skin for long periods of time. The second kind of tape that we take is called Luco tape or LK tape. That is a phenomenal tape for putting on your body.
Yeah.
So like
blisters.
When we just did a favorite trails video, check that out.
Yeah.
When I was in Isle Royale, I cut my neck, and Andy had a bunch of Luco tape, and that was really helpful. And also for like blistering, Luco tape's really helpful. But here is my hack. So sometimes Andy and I will carry braces. Maybe an ankle brace, maybe a knee brace. On a long duration trip, it's really not a terrible idea for us.
Yeah, watch the Colorado
We're old.
Trail.
All right.
You can see me recovering.
Here's my hack now. I bring a third tape. It's called KT tape. Well, I buy the cheap off-brand tape from Amazon. Whenever when you see like all those Olympians, they got these like badass tape jobs on.
Yeah,
it's that tape. It is not a Luco tape. It's a structural, rigid tape that
like compression tape.
It's kind of like compression tape. It can take the place of a brace. It is significantly lighter. It's significantly easier to deal with. It's cheap. I think it's a great all-around tape that has not made its way into the backpacking world. I use it for running. I've had to tape my ankle with it, and it's better than an ankle brace for me. The only downside is you can't take it off your skin. You have to wait for it to fall off your skin because it bonds that well. And it falls off in a couple days, or if you're really sweaty, it just comes off. But that's the only downside is you can't rip it off. You rip your skin off. But it works just as well as a brace. It's cheaper. It is significantly lighter, not as bulky. I think that's a good hack.
Yeah, that's a great hack.
Yeah, no one talks about LK tape. So a lot of tape-related things.
You mean KT tape?
KT tape, yeah. There's too many freaking tape acronyms. I don't know. All right, what do you got?
Yeah, okay. I was thinking of just like random things that I do throughout the day. So let me give you a scenario.
All right, story time.
You get to camp.
We're at camp.
You get all your chores done.
All right.
It starts to get dark. And you're fishing around and farting around for all your gear that you need to hang around camp.
Okay.
So here's a hack, and this sounds dumb, but I tell you, I do this every single time.
I'm trying to think what this is. I don't know
When I get to camp and I set up all my stuff, one of the first things I do is I immediately put my headlamp, my knife, and my lighter in my pocket.
That's
because those are 3 things that I'm going to use almost every single night. Knife to open up food, headlamp immediately, and lighter for... And then you don't have to be that guy sitting around the campfire like, hey, you got a lighter? Hey, you got a lighter? Just like tossing lighters back around and start stoves.
Yeah.
So like this is a dumb little hack, but I think it makes sense. And then I just immediately when I get to camp, I take them out and I put them right in my pocket because I know they're going to get a lot of use and I know where they are. So I don't know. Dumb hack. Next.
So, all right, this is a hack that, okay, so I have found that it is actually something I straight up saw Bear Grylls do like years ago, and I think it's actually legit. So knowing how much sunlight you have left is actually really important. It's 10 times more important in the winter, but you don't want to be setting up camp in the dark. It's a pain. Knowing how much sunlight you have left is actually valuable. Now, I have a GPS watch and we have GPS phones, and those, like, my watch is set to tell me the sunrise and the sunset based on my location, but you don't always have GPS things. Have you heard this one with the fingers?
Mm-mm.
So what you can do, and this, it's pretty accurate, is if you're out hiking and you look at the sun and you're like, and you know it's in the afternoons, the sun is setting, you're like, how much freaking daylight do I have left? You use your fingers and put your fingers up between the horizon and the sun, and each finger is 15 minutes.
Oh.
And obviously, it's not meant to be super scientific, but it's a pretty good, so 4 fingers would be an hour of sunlight. It's pretty good. I mean, it works fairly well. Just to give you like a gauge of like, okay, I'm hiking. Do I need to start finding camp? Or do I not? Like, how much sunlight do I have left? So I've actually used that a couple times, and it's not like wildly inaccurate.
Yeah.
It's kind of an interesting little hack.
Yep.
So I don't know. I've always found that knowing how much sunlight is left is really important. Do you want to go?
Yeah. So next hack, and this is actually kind of becoming a little bit more of a norm lately, and I'm glad it is because we've been doing it for a long time. And that is, we like to have a minimum of 2 liters of dirty water storage on us for camp water. So basically what that means, okay, so we're using Sawyer squeeze filters, and we're carrying a 2-liter dirty water bag, various brands. And the bags weigh nothing. They're super light, and it gives you the ability then to most trips where we have the ability to have 4 liters of water, 2 in dirty and 2 in clean. And it's just a dumb hack to have that 2-liter dirty water bag. It just makes camp life so much easier when you have plenty of water and you're not going back and forth. And then even in the morning, you've got all your water for coffee and cooking and enough to get the day started, where you don't have to be constantly filtering at water sources. Now, like, I get, like, some people like to do just the 2 liters, and
So is the hack here having more dirty water than
the hack is having a large dirty water storage.
Okay, that's a good one.
Yeah, and I mean there are various ways to do it. I think the lightest way is probably some type of bag, and there's tons of bags out there. So then you just don't have to deal with like constantly having to worry about filtering water, and you got water for the morning. It makes life a lot easier.
Yeah, most people don't think about that. They just filter their water, go to camp, but we always have these big bags, and hauling dirty water, it's like it takes no extra effort to fill up dirty water. Obviously, you got to haul it.
Yeah.
That may be a pain, but I like that. Have more dirty water than you think.
I mean, and we've definitely been in some situations too where there's been longer water carries, and we've been prepared for it because we have this storage capability.
Yeah, and then bonus, something, if we have like extra water and it's just dirty water, we'll use it to extinguish campfires.
Yep.
We've done that before. So that's a good hack. Speaking of fires, I want to talk about fire starters. So, and I want to talk about fires in general. First, a hacky thing is get the pump for the air mattress if you're on the ground. Okay, they don't make the Neo Air anymore, but the reason I get that is I have the Neo Air pump. I have the new air mattresses I have. They have legitimately good air sacs to fill them up with. We've been using these freaking pumps for fire starting and fire maintenance in the winter, and they weigh an ounce. They're like $20. The batteries are either rechargeable or they last forever. They help so much with fires in the winter and in acclimate fire starting conditions.
And we're all about cheating on fires, by the way.
Yeah, it's worth an ounce. Another related hack is, and I'm not going to go into various types, but there are a ton of DIY fire starters you can make that are super cheap. The classic is cotton ball in petroleum jelly. Another one that Justin from It's Good in the Woods does, which I think is cool, is he takes a makeup pad and a tongue depressor.
Yeah, I saw that.
And he smears it and then breaks the tongue depressor and puts it in the makeup pad. I thought that was cool. Another hack, which we use all the time when we can get it, is birch bark. Birch bark, if you're anywhere in any mountainous region of the United States, you're going to have birch trees. And birch bark is an incredible fire starter. I'll put a picture of birch bark. You've probably seen it. I'll put it up on screen right now. You've probably seen it. We don't have a ton of birch trees in Ohio, so we don't see it all the time in Ohio.
Yeah, just don't be that jackass that's peeling it off of the live tree.
No.
Look for your down
That
trees.
is an obvious thing. Don't take it off of a live tree, but you'll
see that.
We do see that. That's not good. You're going to kill the tree. We see birch bark on it kind of like peels off. It's full of resin, and I honestly think it might make better fire starters sometimes than like conventional fire starters. Because you can just light it with a lighter or a match and it takes the flame instantly. And usually when you find some, you find a lot of it. So you can just grab a bunch of it and just use that as your tinder, your kindling. But you can make fire starters super easy if you want to. Birch bark, most people don't know about. It's a great fire starter. And then if you're doing something in the winter or in a rainy area, and you also have a sleeping pad to inflate, consider looking at one of those like $20 little air pumps. It's been invaluable for us. Also, last little fire starting hack is some people will buy, I think Yeti makes one, a metal straw and use that as a bellows for a fire. I've seen that. Like they make little collapsible metal straws that you can use on a fire. I thought those are pretty cool. We don't have one because we just cheat full on with the air pump, but I thought that was cool.
Yep.
You want to go?
Yeah. Okay. So next hack, and this is something that it was passed down to me. I didn't figure this out.
Okay.
Yeah. From years ago. In my cook kit, I always carry a small piece of pack towel that I cut off from a older, larger pack towel.
Okay.
And having just a tiny piece of pack towel or microfiber or something like that in your cook kit makes like cleanup so easy, and you always have just a tiny piece of pack towel in your cook kit. Wipe down stuff, clean out pots, whatever you're doing. Just having that tiny little piece of it has been awesome. And then during the day, like if we're on a long trip, I'll just like hang it on the outside of my pack or put it in the mesh so it dries out a little bit. But it's basically just a dedicated kitchen rag, I guess you would call it.
Yeah, that's a good idea.
And it stays in the cook kit. It gets hung in the bear bag. Mm-hmm. So that was a sweet little hack that you don't think about, but it's awesome.
So speaking of bear bags, I want to talk a little bit briefly about bear line. Bear line is underutilized as something that you can hack stuff with. Andy has used bear line to fix his bridge hammock. We've used bear line for tarp lines. You don't think of bear line as being anything other than bear line, but it's legit cordage, and always, always, always get bear line that glows. Get glow wire bear line. It is so much better to be able to see it with a headlamp. But bear line, you can hack a lot of stuff with bear line. Check out, we have a video where Andy fixed his Banyan bridge hammock with bear line, and we use bear line so much more than just hanging a bear bag.
Yeah, I mean, I think it goes down to the age-old saying, like, you got to carry some spare cordage, and we both now carry bear lines, even though we're all hanging on the same line.
Yeah, we all do. Yep.
And that just guarantees that if they're in a pinch, if we need a bunch of cordage, that it's easily available.
Yeah.
And glow wire, absolutely.
Yeah, get stuff that glows in the dark. It doesn't really cost that much more, and it's so much easier to deal with.
Okay, last little hack. This is something that Kevin and I do, and you don't think about it, but it's awesome. Okay, we keep the food that we're going to consume throughout a day on the outside of our packs.
Yeah, that's a good one.
So, meaning we get up in the morning, after we're packing up for the day, I will take out the food that I'm going to eat that day and put it on the outside of my pack, because I am super lazy. And when you've been hiking half the day and you're ready for lunch or snacks or something, you don't want to have to completely deconstruct your pack.
It's a pain.
And so just having the ability to grab it really quickly on the outside of your pack is awesome. And then also we will even if we're eating like if we're gonna rehydrate a meal for lunch,
I thought I was gonna chime in with this.
Yeah, we will actually start with cold soaking it, and maybe like we don't mind eating cold soaked food, but then what you could do is you could add a little bit of hot water to it when you're there at lunch to heat it up. But it just makes it so you're not sitting there for a long time waiting for your food to rehydrate.
I thought you were also gonna say use the bag that you have your breakfast in to cold soak in for lunch.
Oh yeah, we definitely do that.
We do that, so you can reduce the amount of bags you bring like by 50% if you just use the breakfast bag to cold soak your lunch in. And then you might get some fun flavor combinations.
Yeah, and like we're always like it's a pretty big trend, us included, to just use millions of Ziploc bags. So we're trying to get away from that.
Yeah, it's not good.
It's not good. I mean, we're guilty of it just as most other people, but like we try our best, and we're going to continue to get better at it to reduce like the impact of using just tons of disposable Ziploc bags.
So I think we're probably gonna have to do a part 2 of this because there are some ones.
There's a lot
more that we didn't really get to, but we wanted to, we like to keep these short and sweet. That's like round 1 of our backpacking hacks. We've got many more, and we also have a bunch of food related ones. We're gonna do a separate food video.
Yeah.
Hacks. It's winter. We don't backpack as much, so we got to make hack videos. All right, everybody. Thank you for watching. Remember to subscribe. Check out our podcast. Is that it?
That's it.
All right, everybody.
See ya.
Bye-bye.